Do you really need a gimbal for filmmaking in 2020? Hey guys, if you're new to this channel, my name is Lakshay and I make videos about filmmaking, about getting started into plant-based fitness and so many other things. Do you really need a gimbal for filmmaking in 2020? The short answer is no. Now let me explain. Before I get into this, yes, I do have a gimbal, but I barely even use it. I don't remember when the last time I had to use my gimbal was. Now, my first ever gimbal was the DJI Osmo Mobile. That was the first gimbal for your smartphone. So that was the first one that I bought and I used that for everything. And it made my smartphone footage look amazing. It made my footage from my phone, which was a Samsung S8, look so professional, look so much better than just any other phone, and just you couldn't really tell that everything was shot on a phone. And I shot so many videos completely on my smartphone using this gimbal. Now, my first ever gimbal for my camera, I rented out a gimbal before I was about to travel to United States and then India, so I could get a lot of nice clean footage just like I was using my smartphone to do with my camera. And I thought that this was going to be amazing. I was going to get so many shots on this gimbal. I was going to be able to do so many things. And I went to the US and then I went to India and I barely even used my gimbal. Now, it's not that I didn't want to use it, and I was paying for it so I could use it in the States and in India, but honestly I just couldn't use it. I didn't see the need to use it, and whenever I did want to use it, it was such a pain to set everything up. It was such a pain, it was so annoying, and I just preferred to just get my camera out and start shooting straight away. Whatever I saw, if I saw something interesting, I just got my camera out and started shooting. And in the videos that I did for the US and for my India trip, everything was filmed handheld. I used my hand and my camera, and that's about it. And in fact, my favorite and the smoothest shot in my entire trip was filmed handheld. Well, it wasn't filmed because it was a hyperlapse, so it was a bunch of photos put together and then stabilized in post, but it still came out really nice and it wasn't filmed using a gimbal. Now, I do use a gimbal. What do I use a gimbal for? So when I'm shooting music videos, when I'm shooting dance covers, when I'm shooting something that needs stable footage, that's when I would use my gimbal. Whenever I'm filming handheld, I usually film in 60 or 120 FPS, so it looks more smoother and I can stabilize it easier in post using warp stabilizer. But not everything looks good shot in 60 or 120 FPS. So in those kinds of scenarios, a gimbal would be necessary. Now, you don't need a gimbal. A gimbal is a tool, but you don't need it. And I'm not saying you don't need it forever, but don't make the mistake that I made. The mistake I made was I got one when I didn't need it at all, and it just sat there for 2 years. So my main point is, you don't need a gimbal. You can get by without a gimbal just as fine. So yeah, don't make the mistake that I made. I got one way too early and it just sat there for a really long time until I had to get a new one. So yeah, I really hope this helps you guys. Please like this video if it's helped you. It'll really help me out, and subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below if you have any questions you want to ask me. I will respond to your comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.